Well, hello there, everybody. So I've started this live stream a little bit early, so I'm going to actually start at 1 p.m. So I just wanted to get settled and let everybody sign in and say hi to everybody, because obviously I was away last week. I was away in Pembrokeshire. I was on my honeymoon and we had a great time, but that meant that I couldn't do any work. So I didn't do a live broadcast last Tuesday at 1 p.m. as I usually do. So it was pre-recorded, and so I just wanted to check in and say hello to everybody. It is live today, and you can ask me whatever questions you want on the chat, which will come up on my screen just here. So just feel free to chip in any point with any questions that you have about this backpack. So today I'm going to be reviewing the Aonijie cross-country race backpack. It's 10 litres, and the amazing thing about this pack is that it's only, I've seen it on Amazon for £22, which is quite frankly flabbergasting. So I'm gonna start now. So hi to everybody who's joined so far, getting lots of messages on the chat. So right, just gonna start off going through the main features and just chip in whenever you've got any questions. So first of all, great value. Okay, so 22 quid. I think everybody can agree that, you know, even if it's not the best pack, you could give it a go for that price. I've also seen it online for more like £35, but even at that price point, that's way below any other running backpacks that are currently out there from the major brands. So the major brands are like Montaigne, Salomon, Ultimate Direction, Make a Backpack 2, and they're more like 100 to 140 even pounds these days. So I'm going to take you through what you get for this pack, and then I'm going to show you how it compares to one of my favorite packs, which is the Salomon. And then at the end, there's going to also be opportunities for you guys to ask me about the pack that I reviewed last week, which wasn't live, which is the Outkit Art Blue 10 litres. So just wanted to let you know what's coming up. So first of all, we'll go through the features on this pack. So we'll start with hydration first of all, because it's the most prominent that you can see here. So we've got, as you can see, a couple of pockets up front for bottles. So the one on the left is one of my favorite types of bottles. It's the Salomon bottle. And I'm rapidly discovering that this bottle doesn't fit into hardly any other packs that aren't Salomon packs, because it's just really long and thin. So I've been using a lot on these test packs. I've been using a different bottle. It's still 500 millilitres, and it's from Montaigne. So this one fits into most other packs a lot better than this really long thin Salomon one does. So that's just a point of interest there. So this pack will very comfortably take two 500 milliliter bottles up front just here. It will also take a hydration bladder. So it doesn't come with a hydration bladder. This hydration bladder is from the Decathlon pack that I tested. It's got a ridiculously long hose, but all you would do with that one is you would just chop it off where you needed it. That's probably why it's so long. And then you just fix this back on. So that's remediable. And hopefully maybe I will have done that by next week's review. So just tuck that away there. So those are the two bottles, and the hydration, when I take the pack off, I'll show you the rest of that, but it basically comes out of the shoulder here, and there's a little bladder in it there. So the chest straps are stretchy, bottom and top. The light is not especially good in here, but you can see that there is, if you've got a hydration bladder with a magnet on it, you can actually attach it there. So you could look for a hydration bladder with a magnet on the end of the tube to attach there. Otherwise, these chest straps are stretchy and they pull in. And this pack is actually, they've sent me a large / extra large. So as you can see, it's a little bit on the big side for me. It's going to even pulled to its tightest extent on the front chest straps. This pack is going to be too big for me. I'm a size 12 woman. So if you're bigger than a size 12 woman, then you could probably fit into this extra large pack. I should go for, if I was going to purchase one of these, I'd probably go for a small medium if I could find it. They also do a medium large pack as well. So this extra large pack, it's got tons of room in it. So I think it's true to size, basically. You could fit an extra large man in this pack, no problems whatsoever. So if you're on the larger side, then this might be the pack for you. So just an interesting thing to note with the bottom chest strap is that it's got two. It's got two feeders here just to clip into one side. So that just gives you a little bit of variation on the angle of that bottom chest strap. And it just makes it a little bit more stable as well. So that's a nice design feature. I like that. So then we come to pockets. So like the Salomon packs, and something I really do like in a backpack is a front pocket just beside or just below really the water bottle pocket. So there's two here and they're really stretchy and they're quite deep as well. So I've got a bag of raisins in here. You can fit food in there. Yeah, you can fit, I've got a gel just in here like that. So they're quite deep and they're really stretchy and they're really easy to access. And that's why I love a front pocket so much. They're so easy to access. So then just coming around to this zip pocket here, there is a zip just here, a zip pocket, and you can fit a bar or a gel in there. I always like a backpack to have a zip pocket. It goes quite far back actually. It goes all the way behind the bottle, so it's quite a big pocket. You can fit quite a few bits of food in there. I always like to have at least one zip pocket on a backpack because you can put your keys in there. You always want to put your keys in a zip pocket, otherwise you never know whether they're going to bounce out or anything like that. So then we've got, now these bits, I did actually take them off because they were annoying me. But these bits, they could be used to store a pole going across like that. So like on the Raid Light Responsive 10 pack that I tested a little while back, the pole, you could put a pair of poles across here, just a lightweight running pole, and you could actually use this sort of, it's a thin bungee cord with a tightener here, and you could use that to secure some poles across the top of you like that. So that's a really nice little touch too. But if you're not using poles, they can be a little bit annoying and flap around. So you can just take them off. Just try not to lose them. So that is everything on the front. So coming around to the sides now, you can see that there's some absolute humongous side pockets just here. They are quite large and long, and they're quite deep as well. Nothing has fallen out of them so far, but this is the kind of pocket that you wouldn't want to put a key in. But you can easily fit like a buff, a pair of gloves. You could even fit a windproof in these side pockets because they are really, really big, and they're really, really easy to get into as well. Some side pockets which are stretchy, you have to sort of fight to find where the entry is, but this one is really easy to get into just there. Okay, so just going to take the weight out of the front. Oh yes, there's a whistle as well, and the packs, some of the recent packs I've been testing, the whistle hasn't been very loud, but this one, tested earlier, that's pretty loud, isn't it? That'll do for a whistle. It's also on a stretchy cord here, which is really useful because you don't want to be fighting with that if you do need to use it in anger. Okay, so let's just take the pack off, and so we've got a nice big front compartment just here. You can also see the side pockets a little bit better there. Yeah, they're just really deep, really stretchy, and really good. Everything so far is working really, really well on this pack. And then just opening the top pocket here. 10 litres capacity, so that's quite a lot of stuff. So I fitted a windproof in there, a first aid kit in there. It also comes with a survival blanket. This weighs 60 grams, and it just comes as a little free extra. So that's a really nice touch. There's another free thing inside here as well that I'll show you in a minute, but that's 60 grams. Overall, this pack weighs 275 grams, which is really light. I mean, the moment you put bottles, if you've got a couple of bottles, that's more like 60 grams. So you're talking like 320 grams then. If you've got a hydration bladder, that can sometimes be more like 100 grams. So that's even then, so what's that, 260, 360 grams. This is quite a light pack. It's rivaling the top packs for how light it is there. So then just digging a bit deeper into this 10-litre compartment, we've got a insulating layer just there. And the only thing is the zips don't come down very far. So a lot of the more expensive packs, the zip will come down all the way, so you can really see what's in the pack. This one, however, only comes down to here, so you have to sort of delve in, and you can't see everything at the bottom of that pack. What you can see, though, is a hydration bladder. So this pack does not come with a hydration bladder. You have to buy any hydration bladder or bottle separately, which does up the price a little bit. But it does come with an insulating piece for jacket for the hydration bladder. So it's slightly shiny inside. So it's just basically trying to keep your water a bit cooler because it's pressed onto your back, which is obviously very hot. So it's just trying to keep a bit of insulation from your back to your water. So your water should hopefully stay a little bit cooler. It does add to the weight. This is 20 grams. So you don't have to use that, obviously. And I would probably not bother using something like that, especially in Britain, because as we all know, apart from this summer, it's very, very cold here usually. So the hydration tube just feeds through the back there as usual, and the hydration bladder has its own little compartment just here. And then the back is really, really breathable mesh, and the shoulders as well. It's so breathable. You can even see through it. You can look at that. You can see the books on the back of behind this mesh here, and it's the same for this mesh here. You can actually blow through it, and it's extremely, extremely breathable there. So that's the back of the pack there, and you can see that the back of the pockets is a bit more of a closer weaved mesh, but it's still a mesh. So that's the bit that's going to be close to your body, so that's going to be breathable. It's very comfy as well. It's a double weave mesh, so it's got some bounce to it. It's got a little bit of comfort there. And we've got some people are commenting now. So we've got Dartmoor Well says the extras are just what the Salomon vest comes with, but at a bigger cost. So I got this Salomon vest, which is startlingly similar to the Aonijie one, and yeah, they are so similar. Like, if you had a choice of paying £140 for this vest versus £30, £22 for this vest, then I know which one I'd go for if I didn't test any gear. So, but I was sent this pack, and I don't remember particularly getting. Oh no, was that? Yeah, I think it did come with one of these actually. I think you're right. So the difference between this one is that every bit of fabric feels stretchy. So this is stretchy, this is stretchy. In contrast, this is not stretchy. And the zip doesn't feel quite as good quality as this one. And also, this one, the pockets around the side are a lot deeper. So there's no danger of anything flipping out, I wouldn't have said. So the pockets are really, really deep, just at the back there, and at the side, they're really, really super deep there. The other difference is, well, actually, I'm just going to have a look at the weight of that one. Salomon Advanced Skin. Yeah, they're exactly the same weight, actually. This pack and this pack, they're the same weight. So yeah, I mean, I personally think that there's the design on the Salomon is slightly better. The pockets are deeper, the fabric is stretchy, the overall pack is super, super comfy all over. But for the price, this one is pretty much very, very, very similar pack. So very sorry to Salomon, but 140 quid versus 22 quid. So well, let's go to another question now. So Shum Hui says, you can put 2 hiking poles vertically on each side as there are 2 smaller loops to hold the poles at the bottom of the vest below the front pockets. So that is a great point. So yeah, we've got these 2 bits of elastic here. So you can put the poles also vertically there. So you've got this elastic here, and then you can use this pole here. I just find when I do that, I just feel a little bit encumbered. So they kind of hunch up a bit, but so I like to wear them across the top. But yes, that's a brilliant point. Thank you very much. Dartmoor Wells also saying, unless I knew, I would say this was a Salomon pack. Yes, so yeah, it does look very similar. There's no denying that. It looks really, really similar, and it's at a great price. So yeah, more questions. Right, what other questions do you have for me? So Jason Fisher says, I have the 5-litre version. He's done many 4-hour runs in it, and it's really comfortable. So yes, I would agree. So my husband took this out last week on our honeymoon, and he ran in this, and he's obviously a bit larger than me, and he found it really, really comfortable as well. It's really easy to adjust. It's also the adjustable points go up and down on this rail here. So that's really useful as well to know, and that's something the Salomon pack actually doesn't have. So there we go. So that's, unless there's any more questions about the Aonijie pack, I'm gonna have a quick chat about the Outkit Arteloo 10-litre pack as well, and just in case anyone's got any questions about those. Does anyone have any more questions about the Aonijie pack just before I move on? Speak now or forever hold your peace. Okay, good. So we've got this Outkit Arteloo, and I was really surprised about this pack because there were a lot of people on social media, and there was a lot of people on YouTube who were sort of really keen for me to review this pack. So I was thinking, oh, brilliant, £45. This is going to be a really good pack. But I just think it's not for runners. It's built like a hiking pack. Can you see here? This is a really stiff here, and I know some people have come back to me on YouTube and they've said that they don't have the same problem, but both me and my husband, who are we're kind of normal sized woman and man, basically. He's like a medium man and I'm like a medium woman, basically. We both have the same problem with it around the neck. So if you can see, I'll just use the example of this Salomon pack here, because we all know that Salomon's a really good running brand. So if you look here, and that is the way that the neckline goes. So it fits around your shoulders, around there and there. So I'll just put it on to show you. So it fits around the shoulders like that, and you do it up, obviously, and it looks like this. So you can see that it fits nicely around the neck. So, but if I put on the Outkit pack, you can see instantly that it's just less concave. Is that the word? So if I put this on, it immediately, you can see there, it just goes round my neck in a not comfortable manner. And because the back panel is stiff, it just isn't comfortable in the way that the other running packs are. It also just comes in one size, and I can't get it tight enough on me. So I know the Aonijie one is a size large to extra large, and it was difficult for me to get that one tight enough. This one, even if you've got it filled full of stuff, which does make the bag smaller, it kind of presses into you a bit, you cannot get these straps any tighter than this. And that's quite a lot of wiggle room that they could have played with there. So you could get it more like that, but then it would start to hurt here more. So the fit is one of the main reasons why I personally don't get on with this pack. Other people might get on with this pack if you're differently made to me. Hopefully this video can help you see whether you would be suited to this pack or not. And the other reason was that, oh yeah, this pocket here is a phone pocket or a bottle pocket. It's not quite big enough for a smartphone with a small case around it. So that just needs to be a teeny bit bigger if it wants to be a phone pocket, especially the kind of sizes of phones that are coming out now. And the other thing was that these side pockets just here are difficult to get into when you're running. So I can do it now, but I can tell you that on the move, that is difficult. And also it's got a zip on it. So it's like, and then how do you sort of walk your hand up to get the zip back up? And that is an incredibly difficult maneuver to perform on a run, especially when you're tired. So that's why, for me, I definitely wouldn't recommend this pack. And that does upset me somewhat because I love Alpkit as a brand. I think they make excellent quality products. I've used their head torch for many years, and I think that, I do think they make really good products. So we've just got a comment coming in here from John H, who says, maybe they think people running ultras may be wearing more than a t-shirt, so they leave the sizing on the big side. Yeah, that's true, but more like what I'd be wearing more than a t-shirt would be this. I don't generally run in a jumper type thing like that. Like that's when everything's gone horribly wrong, when I start wearing this. But yeah, so yeah, I'm right. I run really hot. I usually, even in winter, my favorite outfit to run in is a t-shirt and a pair of gloves like this. So yeah. I mean, it's just, you just want the option to get it tighter. And I know that I'm not the smallest person in the world. I'm pretty, standard as women's sizing goes. And I know that there's a lot of people who are a lot slimmer than me. Even like there's a lot of men who are a lot slimmer than me as well. Take Marcus Scotney, for example, from my latest Q&A. He's very slim as a man. So I'm not sure that this pack would work for his size either. So that's just what I thought. And so I don't think the people at Outfit are going to be giving me any more kit to review, sadly. Or maybe they'll take it on board and they'll make something more like the Salomon pack, which is here, it's just so floppy, and you can just scrunch it up like that. It's just so small, isn't it? Right, so are there any more questions? What other questions do you have for me about packs before I move on to my next topic of conversation? Any more? You're all being very quiet today. Is it because I've been away for a week? Usually there's tons of people going, oh, what about this? What about this? Maybe it's all very self-explanatory today with the Aonijie pack. Is anybody thinking of now buying an Aonijie pack? I will put a link to the Aonijie packs in the YouTube description below. So if you did want to buy one or just look at one, then do click on that link. I'll put several up. I'll try and find all the different sizes and that on Amazon for you. So just click on that link. And if you did decide to buy one using that link, then it gives me a tiny kickback. So that would be very nice of you if you decide to do that. Okay, so Mick Farah is saying, I recently ran with a naked band. Try that sometime. Okay, so yes, I will look into that. I usually just run with a pack rather than a waist belt, because I just find that because I've got a waist, whenever I wear a waist pack, they kind of slide upwards until they're constricting me around the stomach. So I have not actually delved much into the bum bag market. So, John H is saying, of the 3 packs that I have now, which is my favourite? So that's no questions asked, got to be the Salomon pack. I know it's 140 quid, but I just think that it's worth it. Like, if I was a rich person and money was no object, this is the pack I would go for. So that's my favourite. However, if I was me, like in real life and not gear tested, if I was like a student again, then I definitely would go for this one, because it does everything that the Salomon does adequately, and it's a fraction of the price. But I just feel like the Salomon one it just feels more robust, and I don't know how I know that, but just from 8 years of pack testing, I just know the feel of a good zip, and I know the feel of a good fabric, and I also I think Salomon as a brand is a good brand. They have really good brand ambassadors. They've got really amazing athletes, and they obviously use those athletes in working out the best pack. And then I'm probably not allowed to say this in certain terms, but I do know that there are certain companies which do all the R&D, put all the money into the R&D, and then certain other companies from other countries perhaps come along and they just copy the designs. So it's sort of, it's hard to be the leader. It's hard to make the best products because somebody will just come and copy perhaps. So obviously I'm not allowed to make any allegations about that because that would be considered libelous. But that's just sort of the way that I think. And I honestly do think that Salomon pack is slightly better. I don't know that it's £120 better for most people, but that's just what I think. If I had all the money in the world, that's the one I'd go for. Oh, tons of questions coming in now. Homik Chow says that the Naked brand is the best. Okay, well, I've definitely got to check them out then. And Tennis, as I'm about to buy one and I've been looking for reviews. Okay, so Terry, I've got tons of backpack reviews on my YouTube channel. So every Tuesday, 1 p.m, I do a review of a different backpack. I've also got a review of the top 6 for 2018 of the main outdoor brands. If you want to go for a brand which you know will be really good quality, really well made, and has a good customer service. So that's also on my channel. It's one of the most popular videos. So I think you can, I'll put a link to it in the description below as well for you. So Grant Humphrey says, don't you find the bottles and bladders of the Aonijie really taste like plastic compared to European brands that use Hydro Flask? Well, Grant, I don't actually know that because the Aonijie pack that they sent me did not come with any bottles from their own brand. So yeah, that's a really interesting question because somebody did ask me on YouTube just recently what brand is the best bottle for a non-plasticky taste, and a lot of them do taste a bit plasticky. You can never get away. You're not drinking from a stream here. But I do find that this Montaigne bottle is really good. It's just a 500 milliliter Hydro Pack, as you say, bottle, and this also Hydro Pack from Salomon, that tastes good. Like, you don't notice too much. So no, sorry, Grant, I don't know if the bottles on the Aonijie are bad, but maybe that's the way to go. Maybe it's like, get a cheap pack but get really good bottles so that then your water doesn't taste plasticky. So Mick Farrer says, oh, the Naked band sits on the hips and he did 50k in it without any riding up. So it's only available from Centurion. Okay, well, I'll definitely take a look at that then. That sounds really awesome. Robert Harmon says, is there plenty of room for a smartphone in the Aonijie pack? So, okay, right. So a smartphone, let's try this out. Yes, I think there is because I don't go anywhere, as you know, without a smartphone. So, yeah, so what I would do on a lot of my races is I just have one water bottle like this because I don't like to carry too much water because obviously it's very heavy. And if there's a lot of aid stations on a race, then, and if it's Britain and the weather's normal, then I can get away with usually 500 milliliters like for an hour or so until there's another aid station. So I usually just carry one or fill up from a stream maybe, and then I'll put my phone in this one. You could also put the phone in here. I like to put my phone in there. It sticks out a bit, so I don't know how risky you're feeling there, Robert. But yes, I would also quite happily run along with smartphone there. It could also fit potentially. Let's try that in here because this is quite a big pocket. It'd be a bit of a faff to get your smartphone in there, but yes, there you go. Smartphone fit in the zip pocket there. So that's a good question there. Thank you. So Richard Tusson says, I bet that pack would fit me okay. Good, that is good. Always good to find a pack that fits. Adidas also have zip pockets behind slightly, but it doesn't get away in the way of arm movement. It's a faff, but for me, I hate getting anything. I can't really read all of that. There's a few typos in there, Richard. So basically what I think he's saying is that the zip pockets behind in the in this out kit pack weren't a problem for him. So for me, it was annoying to have to reach back. I can reach them, but I've got really flexible shoulders because like I'm a swimmer as well. So I know quite a few people who would struggle with that, and it's just a struggle getting them up and down. It's not that it's not possible, it's just that there are so many other options available like this, which work so much better, that I just don't understand why they've made them like that. But maybe it's something to do with the mountaineering climbing background, perhaps, that kind of streamlined approach there. So oh yes, Richard Tussin says the also check went crazy on the above. Oh yeah. Dartmoor Well says, yes, people should definitely check my pack comparison video. Really useful and help me pick my vest. Thank you. I will pay you later. Richard Tussin says, zips behind, so does not get in the way of the arm action. Ah, right. So he wants to know if the zips on this Alp Kit pack, is that right, Richard? You want to know if the zips behind don't get away of your arm action when running? They don't on me. I've had a lot of packs where stuff's like left, right and centre and you think, oh, that's going to impede on my arm movement. But actually, when you're actually running, you don't tend to run with your arms kind of grinding against your pack. You do tend to run with your elbows a little bit like out to the side. So on most packs, you'll find that what you think potentially could annoy you doesn't annoy you. So you'd have to fill that pocket pretty big for it to start sticking out into your arm. So, but that's a really good question, actually. That's a tip, I reckon, there. If you're going to a shop to purchase a pack like this, take the stuff with you in your old pack. So take your gloves, your buff, your survival blanket, take food, take bits of food with you, pack the pack with it all in the places where you think you'll need it, and then try it on, like just jog around the shop. You might look like a wally, but at least you're going to know whether that pack works or not. So that is my top tip for you. If you're doing that online, buy 3, say, online, and then get them all, and then I'm sure they allow you to just send back the ones you don't use. So pack it all and run around your house in it, run around the block, and just check that pack does everything that you need it to do, because it's so subjective. Like, I'm sitting here saying, well, I don't really get on with this pack, but somebody else could really, really get on with this pack. It could be your perfect pack, and that is why all the different brands make such different packs, because they know that not everybody is me and not everybody is you. So they just need to make packs to cover all bases. So there's another question here. Yes, Mick Farrer agrees. He says the plastic bottles taste yuck for a while. Yes, don't we all wish we could just run along with a cup of tea like this? Jason Fisher says, I use a water bottle one side and smartphone and charge pack in the other. Yep, I also do that. That's definitely a good tip there. Yeah, just because you can carry a litre of water doesn't mean that you have to. Carrying water is the biggest way to increase weight on your pack load. So if you ever want to train harder, put water in your backpack. Training for the Cape Wrath Ultra, I was putting like 2 smaller Innovate bottles in my backpack, and I wasn't using the water at all. I was just using it for training. But if you're really tired, you can ditch the water. It's not like you've got to ditch your kit. So that's a good training tip there. Okay, so Terry Merry is saying, thanks, I have seen and enjoyed your review video, but my budget says Aonijie at the moment, and I'm just starting out in the ultra scene, so I need to balance it all out. Yeah, totally. Yes, that's another really good point, actually. If I was a beginner, I would definitely just start with the cheaper packs, because how do you know what you want where if you haven't just tried something? You always, when you're first starting out, you should always go for a cheap option. I would say, yes, I would. That's why those kind of different price brackets exist, I would say. So John Hobson says, I find foul tasting water bottles are normally okay after a while. I've used sterilisation powder in them before for 24 hours, which has helped. So that's a really good tip also. And also, as well as the sterilisation powder, you could use some electrolyte tablets and sometimes squash. That squash certainly makes the water taste different. You do have to be more careful washing squash or energy drinks out of your hydration bottles. They're more prone to getting, there's algal growths around the teat bit, just around here. more prone to growing bad stuff in here. If you've got a sugary drink in there, I usually keep mine just water or electrolyte tabs. But yeah, electrolyte tablets can be a good way of masking the plasticky taste, at least at the beginning. I just found that I've got used to it now. I'm just like, yummy water. It doesn't matter what it tastes like nowadays. So great, we've got tons of questions here. That's fantastic. Thanks for all the questions, guys. This is really awesome. You're making me feel very useful here. It's very good. So Grant Humphrey says he usually uses the Salomons, and he had to try a friend's Aonijie once, and that was nasty. Yeah, get him to put some electrolyte tab or some sterilization powder in there. So Grant Humphrey also says, hopefully, John, the Salomon bottles tasted normal after the first time. Grant Humphrey's in South Africa. That's interesting. Yeah, okay, yeah. And so in South Africa, it's only 30% more, so that's great. And Richard Tussin says, thanks for the great tips and feedback. And Dartmoor Well says, flask neck size is key too, especially if you know you'll be using energy powder in the flask, which is why I went for a wide neck flask separately to a vest. Yes, that's a very good point, Dartmoor Well. This is great. Like, there's tons of really good, this is why I like doing this live, because there's tons of really good just little tips and things come out from everybody who's doing this. So there's where's that other bottle gone? So yes, that's a really good point, and that is why I like using these Salomon bottles, because the opening is really, really wide, like that wide, and you can easily get electrolyte tabs, whatever, pour some powder in there. So that is great. Tobbs says, hey, Tobbs. Tobbs has downloaded the YouTube app to watch this live. Yes, good man. Great. And so, yes, so what was I saying? Yes. So this nice wide neck, that's quite good. Can dig in a little bit if you get the angle right. This one, possibly a bit more comfy because the outer bits are a bit more squishy, but it's got a lot smaller, just hold them both up together, it's got a lot less wide mouth there, so it's just a little bit harder to get stuff in there. So that's why I like this one. It's very long and it's obscene looking, if I'm honest. This one has been fitting in way more of the packs that I've been testing, so I'm just glad to have like a range of bottles, really. Yeah. Okay, so John Hobson saying, I had 2 Aonijie bottles and the taste in them was fine after a while. That's good. The worst was a Scott bottle, just like the Montaigne Hydro Pack flask, which is this one. Recently got a Salomon pack and bottles taste fine from day one. Yeah, this is the main reason why I like the Salomon ones. They just really, really taste fine. So Mick Farrer says, I find the zips on the Salomon packs need a lot of attention and lock or break up easily. Any suggestions on maintenance? I tried candle wax and that sort of helps. I would suggest probably some WD-40, maybe like a teeny amount. But also, if you're finding that they're snagging a lot, mine don't on my Salomon packs. So I potentially would consider sending that pack back to the supplier, or if you bought it from a shop, go back to the shop and see what they suggest, because on a £140 backpack, you do not deserve snagging zips. That's just my opinion there. As a consumer, I don't think that you deserve a snagging zip on a £140 backpack. Like on a 20 quid backpack, yep, okay. So you could be like, okay, the zips snag a little bit, but not on a £140 backpack. I haven't found that my Salomon zips snag at all. Like that doesn't snag at any angle. Like that's really good. So I would say that might be a fault with the pack, and that I would send it back. That's what I'd do there, Mick. 3 friends with the same issue. Really? I've never had that on a Salomon pack. They must send me the best ones. But yeah, no, I would, that's not on. Like for 140 quid backpack, you do not want snagging zips. Like that's the whole point of paying so much money for a pack, isn't it? So yeah, I would definitely start a campaign and send those packs back. Yeah, definitely. Here's a funny comment. Scoot Wales says, got to be honest, by the time I need to hydrate, I don't really care what it tastes like as long as it quenches my thirst. I use all the cheapest bottles with no issues. There you go. So this is why all this different stuff exists, for the different palettes of all of us ultra runners. There's another question there. Dartmoor Well, someone today reminded me you can lubricate with pencils, puts carbon or graphite on. That's a good tip for zips. Yeah. Oh, so Mick Farrer, you think maybe the sweat gets into the zip and maybe that's what maybe bungs them up? Maybe. Yeah, potentially. Maybe consider putting the pack through the wash or a hand wash cycle, like on a really low temperature, just to get all the sweat out of the pack. That's a really good point, actually. Maybe that's what's jamming the zips up. I hadn't thought about that, because no, I'm not a very sweaty person at all, but my husband is a really, really sweaty person. Like, he'll run like 2 miles and he's like dripping with sweat, whatever the temperature. So yes, maybe that's it, actually. Maybe don't start that campaign, not on my name. So Grant Humphrey said, do you find using the Salomon Adventure 12 fine to use when empty for shorter trips or races, or does it just flop around? Okay, so by short, what would you be carrying there? What do you like, just for water maybe, and a windproof? Like, just like the basics that I would take with me would be water, maybe a snack, and a windproof, and a pair of gloves, and a first aid kit. Take quite a lot, actually. So yeah, I wouldn't use this. What I would use is my own. I've got a 3 litre S-Lab Salomon pack, which I really, really like. I think it's in here. This is basically a box full of test packs. And I think that my favourite Salomon one is in here. But really sadly, I don't think you can buy it anymore. Oh, where is it? Aha! Here it is. So, you've got me started now. It's like my fave topic of conversation. So this is my favourite Salomon pack. It's the S-Lab 3 litres, and I've looked online and I cannot find it anymore. They do a 5 litre, but not a 3 litre. And this is what I take if I just need a few bits. So it's tiny. Look at it. It's just like a little it's just like a little waistcoat, and it's literally, you can actually jam it quite full of stuff, but if you haven't got a lot of stuff, this is what I take. So yeah, if I don't want to take a lot of stuff, then I take this, and you can just see, the zips don't jam there. Nope, no jamming. Never had a jamming zip from a Salomon pack. Nope, all good. Yeah, there's tons of little pockets on here. These bottles just about fit down here. Yeah, so that, Grant, that is what I would take if I was just doing a short run. I would actually have 2 packs. And that's why something like the Trailfire vest, you've got me started now. That's where something like this comes in really handy. So this is the Trailfire vest. It's £55, and that's just a little vest in a similar style to that Salomon one. Then what you do is you buy this, which is £28, and it's a compressor pod, and you just tie that on to the outside with bungee like that, and then you've got yourself a bigger pack. So I have got a review of that elsewhere on my channel. So if you just Google Trailfire vest, that review will come up, so you'll see more about that pack. That could be a really interesting option for you. More questions. Blah, 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 blah. Jean-François Dufour, bonjour, says, what's the big difference between a vest and a backpack in regard to comfort and efficiency? I use a backpack with a water bladder and find it more efficient than a vest. What is your thought? Well, those 2 words, vest and backpack, I suppose vest means something like this. So that's a vest. But and something like this would be like a backpack. That's like a hiking backpack, and it's totally up to you what suits you best. So if you find a backpack like this works for you, then that's cool. But I suppose that's the semantics. That's the sort of the words. But I also, just to confuse things, I do often refer to something like this as a pack. Like as a pack, like a sort of a backpack. But I wouldn't refer to this as a vest. So I suppose the word backpack is a bit ambiguous, but vest definitely means something like that. And the advantages of something like that is that it just feels like a little waistcoat. So it just sits really close to your body. It doesn't move around so much. It's very foldable. It just molds to your body, whereas this is much more structured and a bit more rigid. So I hope that helps. Merci pour la question. Half marathons, Grant Humphrey, half marathons, probably just hydration and gels. I see, yes. Unfortunately, our wallets dictate we have to choose only one first. I think they make an S-Lab 2 litres. Yes, but yes, again, Grant, hopefully that backpack showed you the options where you could have a small backpack and then hook a larger one onto the top. So hopefully that might be a little bit interesting as an option for you. So Horror Beauty FX says, what has been your favourite out of all these vests or packs so far? You have tried a lot, so I'm sure it's hard. I like the Osprey hydration vest lately. Have you tried them? Ooh, Osprey. Now, I did get sent an Osprey one, but it was really heavy. It came out as something like 500 grams just as a starter. And that's the other reason why this pack is a no-no for me, because it's 410 grams just for the pack, whereas something like the Salomon, something like my favourite pack like this one, that would be, this is 274 grams. So you can see already there, that's like 130 grams less. So you don't want to be carrying anything more than you want to. But my favourite vest of everything I've ever tested in the entire world is this Salomon S-Lab 3 set, which they sadly don't make anymore, I don't think. So I really love this pack. It does me for most runs. Like I think I've done like a 30-mile run in this as well. You can just fit so much into it. It's just so stretchy. Like this pocket here, it's just so stretchy. It just fits, and it weighs literally nothing. It weighs 95 grams or something ridiculous. It is ridiculous. You can't tell you're wearing it. It's got stretchy pockets everywhere, a couple of zip pockets just for valuable things, and you can honestly fit so much. Maybe I should do a review just on this pack. Look at it, it's tiny. You can just throw this into your luggage if you're going traveling and you just think, oh, I might do a run, but I might need to take a first aid kit and a phone with me. Then you just chuck this in. This weighs nothing. Favorite pack ever. Jason Fisher says, Aonijie make a 5-litre pack, which might be a good compromise for long and short runs. That sounds like a really good idea, actually. Yes, yeah. I would definitely have. I would have one pack like this for really short runs, like a 3 to 5 litre one, just for like anything up to half marathon in the summertime kind of thing. And then when you want to get into the mountains, more remote, more long distance with not many pickup points, then you might want something more like this, Salomon S-Lab 12 set, something like that. So yeah, I'd usually go 3 to 5 litres and then like 8 to 10 litres. That I would get 2 packs, even if I wasn't a gear tester. I would have 2 packs probably, because even though you can get packs which have other packs which go on the outside, like the other one is the Innovate pack that I reviewed about 2 or 3 weeks ago. There's an Innovate pack that also has an outer pod that you can attach to the back of it, so you can make it a big pack or a small pack. I think it's the All-Terrain. It's the All-Terrain 0 to 15 metre running vest. That's a good one as well. Yes, I just find that although that's a really good idea, that when you get the thing on your back, there is the potential that it will bounce up and down whilst you're running because of its attachment points. So yeah, I'd go for just 2 different vests. Okay, so Horror Beauty FX, John Hobson's, I'm behind the times now. Dartmoor Wells says, just about to say waistcoat. Yeah, it's a good word, isn't it? It's like a little waistcoat, like folk musicians wear. John Hobson says, Grant, I found the Salomon 12 litre is fine with not much in. That's good. You could also, with that, there's a couple of points here for bungee, Grant here, a couple of bungee points. So you could get some elastic and zigzag it across with a tightener, and you could batten down everything that's in there. You could compress it so that it wasn't bouncing around. So that might be handy for you there. Okay, Horror Beauty FX says, I have not tried them. I will give it a go. Excellent. That is good. Grant Humphrey says, thanks for the info. The Naked Band looks awesome. Yeah, I'll put a link to the Naked Band also, so check that out in the YouTube description below. Yeah, everyone's thirsty now. Is the Aonijie pack better than the Kalenji pack? Aha. Well, Where's the Kalenji pack? One moment, I will find it. That's the. Oh, this was from Aldi. What was that Kalenji pack called? Aha! Oh, here's the. They sent me 2 Kalenji packs. And this is the first one I found. This is the bigger one that they sent me, so I tested the smaller one. So this is the Kalenji pack. And yeah, I would say that the Aonijie pack is better than this pack because I'm not a massive fan of a zip down the front. That is a personal thing for me. I like to go in over the top. So yeah, that is one of the reasons why. The other reason is that the pockets on the Decathlon pack are they're not as deep as they could be. Instead of being really deep, they've got like an over pocket to them. Can you see that there? They've got like an over pocket. It's so instead of being deep, they've just got like this kind of weird kind of mouth thing going on. So that I didn't find that as good. I'll just get the weight, 280 grams, so basically same weight. And yeah, it's got a pocket here and a pocket here, but that doesn't work quite as well. So you can put your water in there, and then you've got a really long pocket there, and it just doesn't work as well. What you want is a big long pocket here for water, and then you want a big deep pocket here for snacks. And that is what the Salomon bag does, and that is what the Aonijie bag does as well. This bag has also got 3 straps, which it might be good for some people, but I've never seen a bag with 3 straps before, never needed 3 straps before. For extra stabilization there, if you remember, the Aonijie bag does have a triangular strap just across here. So it does have an extra stable triangular strap across here. There, like that. So it doesn't have 3 straps, it just has a triangulated one at the bottom for stability. So yeah, so the Aonijie one is just like big pocket, big stash pocket. Pocket for water, pocket for stash. Simples, that's what you want. And it's got side pockets. Oh yeah, that was the main thing about the Kalenji one. It didn't have side pockets. So you can see here, all this area here is taken up by side pocket. Brilliant. Always should happen on a backpack. Around here, it's just taken up with a compression adjustment, which isn't very big even level of adjustment. There's only a tiny bit of Velcro there. So rather than being able to adjust the pack here, I'd rather be able to adjust the pack here, buy several different sizes of pack, not do anything about the adjustment here, but have a pocket here. That's like vital. That's the easiest place to get to. So yes, the Aonijie, much better than the Kalenji. That's my opinion. John Hobson said, didn't know about those bungee points. Thanks for pointing those out. I didn't either, John. I just looked for them because the moment anyone says compression to me, I think, oh, bungee cord. I love a bit of bungee cord. It's so useful. Either you can compress down a sack, which is too big for what you've got inside it, or you can add stuff to a fully packed sack and you can like stash stuff around the edge. You can put it in the bungee cord. So I'm a massive fan of bungee cord. Cool. Loads of people are like really like keen for this naked band thing. So I'm going to have to check that out. Right. Watch this space. I will check that out. Have I given up on the Raid Light responsive? Those BOA cables could make it easy to fit when empty. The Raid Light responsive. Yes. Well, I can show you that now. So I've kind of given up on it just because I'm testing so many other packs at the moment. But this is my pack that I use for the Cape Wrath Ultra. So here we go. I still got my race number there, basically because I haven't done a race since. So I just kept it on that, just for posterity. But basically, yes, the Raid Light did have these BOA closure things here. So if you can have a look under there. So it has a closure system there. Now, I just didn't use them. I just didn't use them. I just think if you've got different sizes of pack, you've got like your small, your medium, your large, extra large, maybe even an extra small, then it should sort of fit. And then all the adjustment should be made with these chest straps here. That's how I've experienced packs in the past anyway. So what I did was I took the Innovate pack that I didn't like from my last series of reviews, and I felt very bad about it, but I chopped off the pockets and I sewed them to the side here. So then I had side pockets on the best pack for me for that race. So yeah, that is what I did. I made a Franken pack. This is my Franken pack. Yeah, and I also put a bit bungee on the bottom as well, which you can just stash you can stash your gloves or your bungee or your windproof in there, just like you can when it's full. Obviously, you stash it in like that. So yeah, so I haven't given up on this pack. I really like this pack, and what I do like about Raid Light is if you've got any women runner friends that are quite small, Raid Light do a small and extra small sizes, and believe me, they are very small. This one is a medium on me, so this is great for any really small people, like not necessarily women even, if you're a really slender, slim man, or maybe teenagers as well who are into running. So yeah, that's why I really like this pack. The only downside of this pack for me was the lack of a side pocket. I just think just don't bother with this kind of thing. It's just like overcomplicates everything. I'm not a fan of a side thing, but everybody's different. So it's not just my opinion that counts here. If you like that kind of thing, then go for it. Stuart Govan says, I have got the older Kalenji one that doesn't have the zip. It's got bigger front pockets for bottles and side pockets, a bit more like the Aonijie. Cool. Well, that's great. That's good. If you can find a Kalenji one that looks like the Aonijie and like the Salomon pack, then those are my favorite types of packs. But again, that type of pack might not work for everybody. Horror Beauty FX also wants to try the naked band. I think we're all going to have to try the naked band now. Dartmoor Well says, we're going to put some bungee on the Salomon Adventure 5 and swap it from the old Innovate back. Yeah, you can actually buy bungee as well from outdoor shops, and you can buy the little bungee, this thing here, the little bungee, I don't know what you call them, adjusters maybe. They're so useful, and whenever I want one, I can't find one, but they do sell them in outdoor shops. Franken pack from Andy H. Yes, it was a Franken pack. Yeah, I love that. I wish that a brand would come to me actually and say, right, we want you to just design a pack, and we could chop all different packs up and stick it together in a Franken pack, and it would be wicked, and only me would wear it. Dartmoor, well, where did you find bungee cord, Claire? Oh, well, this bungee cord, I found that on the Innovate pack that I didn't use in the end, that I didn't like. But you can actually buy this from outdoor shops, and you can buy it on eBay, I'm sure. Just type in bungee cord. Yeah, you can buy it online. Mick Farah has sent me a link to the naked band on Messenger. Wonderful. Thank you so much. That is brilliant. Thank you. Great. Well, I think I might have been on here for nearly an hour now, so I might have to go and do some more work. But yeah, so it's been absolutely fantastic. Thank you for all those questions. It's been brilliant. Next week, I am going to be testing, it's under all this stuff now. I'm going to be reviewing this. This is a very interesting pack. It's the Ultra Aspire, just to throw another one into the mix. This is the Ultra Aspire Momentum Race Vest. So I really enjoyed testing this pack. I can't find it for sale in the UK at the moment. Like, if you all want to have a quick look for that, then that would be handy. But I can't find it for sale in the UK. But in America, it's something like $62, I think, which is really, really cheap, a really good price point. But when you add on sending over to the UK, or no, maybe it's $100. I think it works out at £62 for this vest. But I think then there's like $42 of shipping costs, which makes it like £100. So anyway, I'm sure if like the people in a third of the people that watch this channel are in America, so hopefully this will be helpful for you guys. But yes, this is the one I'm going to be talking about next week at 1 p.m. on my YouTube channel. So if you haven't subscribed already, then subscribe. And if you haven't got all your friends to subscribe, then get them to subscribe as well, because I'm trying to hit 10,000 subscribers by, it predicts me to do it by January, mid-January, but let's see if I can do it by the end of the year, hey. Everybody who's watched this, if you get at least 3 friends to subscribe, then that might do it. But yeah, thank you so much for all of your questions. This is what makes the live fun. Like when I was recording the Outkit one before last week, before holiday, I was like, this is so boring. I have nothing to say without everyone coming up with all these great suggestions. So thank you very much for watching. Keep commenting on all my other YouTube videos as well. It's great to have your input, and keep coming up with those suggestions. Keep your questions coming for my Q&As as well. I'm really enjoying helping everybody, because like you can't just create a YouTube channel on your own, can you? You've got to have input from people, and this is brilliant. And maybe one day I will, I'll tell you what race I'm doing. We all can do the same race. That'd be really cool to meet up. That'd be fantastic. So yeah, just keep coming up with your ideas. Keep sending me your questions, and I'm looking forward to chatting with you all next Tuesday at 1 p.m. So, thank you everybody for sharing my stuff. That's fantastic. Yep. Cool. Okay, so see you all next week at 1 p.m. to talk about the Ultra Aspire Momentum Race Fest from the United States. I will see you all then. Thank you, everybody, and keep watching.